Christy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to card 16 in my 2016 holiday card series. Today I'm using this super cute set from Your Next Stamp called Cup of Happiness and the All Wrapped Up 6x6 collection by American Crafts. And I'll just give you guys a quick look at those patterns. Also shared this in my Black Friday Cyber Monday haul video, so you might have gotten a look at it there. I'm going to begin with my Copic Coloring today, and I decided to color my mug red. I went back and forth trying to figure out what color to do the mug, but in the end I wanted it to be something that would really pop against the hot cocoa, and I decided that red would be festive, and so I just thought it would be a fun color. So I'm using my favorite red combo, the R29, R39, and R59. And because the whole front of the mug is such a large area, I did decide to start lightest to darkest just to saturate that paper and get it ready for blending. And then I went in with my R39 along both sides, and I just turned my paper so that I could get the most comfortable angle to flick that color in. And then I went in with my R59 to add my darkest shadows. And then I'm just going to work backwards in the reverse. So I'm going back in with the R39 again, just drawing that darkest color out so that the sides appear rounded. And then I'm going to just take my R29 and fill everything in the center so it's nice and bright red. And that's really going to create the dimension that I'm looking for. So I think this image is just so adorable with these fun little marshmallows jumping into the cup of hot cocoa. The minute I saw it, I just knew I had to have it. I think it's just so much fun, and I think it's definitely going to make anyone smile who gets this card. And I just love that it's so versatile that you could color this mug in so many different shades, and I think you could really make it your own and make it unique each time you color it. So I work in a paint your own pottery shop, and honestly that's one of my favorite parts of the job, is seeing how everybody takes the same pieces and creates something really special and unique with them. So now I'm just coloring the back lip of the mug exactly the same way that I colored the front, just putting my shadows on the inside edges and leaving the highlight for the center, because that would be where the light would bounce off and reflect. And now I'm going to do the same with the handle. I'm just starting with that R59, kind of figuring out where my shadows should be. So in that little crease where the handle is attached to the cup, it's going to have a shadow, and also along the inner side of the handle. So then I'm drawing out with the R39 again, just kind of extending that a little bit, and then I'm going back with my R29 just to finish that off, and that'll finish up the reds for this card. For my cocoa, I'm using E33, E35, and E37. I would have liked to use my E25, E27, and E29, but my E29 is that marker. If you watched my Mama Elephant Reindeer Games card, I'm having issues with that marker. I need to replace the nib, and I haven't done that yet, so I decided to go with this combination for something different, and I do like it how it turned out. So I just put in the E33 to begin with, and then I laid in my E37 shadows, and now I'm blending those out with the E35 just a little bit, also creating a little shadow underneath these little marshmallows that are floating in the cocoa. And then I can blend everything out with the E33. And I actually felt like I lost too much of the dark, so I just went back in with that E37 and put a little bit more shadows in the corner and underneath those two marshmallows, and then just blended that transition with the E35 until it was smooth. I also used the E37 for the ladder, and it's a very thin lined little image there, but I just used the very tip of my marker and colored in straight rows, so I did the two pieces that went down first and then the little bars across, and that made it easy to stay in the lines. Now that my reds have completely dried, I can work on the muzzle of the little bear, and I'm using E21 and E00 for that. So I just went around the outside with the E21 for the shadow, and then I'm blending with the E00. And I was trying to build up the shadows a little bit there, but that E21 was just too light of a color. So I added the E23, and I just did a little bit more shadow with that, and I like that much better. And then just blended that with the E21, and then finished with the E00 again. And then I just took the E47 to color in the little nose. For these cute little marshmallows, I'm using E00 and E000. So I'm just putting a little bit of shadow on their edges to kind of give them a little more dimension, make them look rounded in appearance like the mug. And then I'm blending out with the E000, and then using my colorless blender at the end to kind of just keep that from getting too shaded. I still want them to look white. And I also used the R20 to give them some rosy cheeks. I figured with their cheeky little expressions, it was fitting. I colored the other three remaining marshmallows exactly the same. And ignore the heart speech bubble. I thought I was going to use that, but it ended up not working on the card. It didn't fit with the sentiment, so I ended up just not using that one. And there's a closer look at those images. So cute. So I've die cut my focal panel using the Lawn Fawn Stitch journaling card die, and I want to really get a good impression with my sentiment, so I'm going to use my Misty, and I'm just going to line that up in there and make sure that it's going to fit between the magnets. And then I will ink that up with some Lawn Fawn walnut ink and press that into place. And then I will just open my door and ink that stamp up again and press that back down, and then I get a much crisper and darker image, which I'm a lot happier with. I am really enjoying this Misty tool. I honestly don't know how I ever lived without it. I use it on almost every card, at least to stamp out my images. I use that same die plus the Lawn Fawn Simple Stitched Hillside Borders to die cut a tablecloth to set my mug on. I'm just adhering that down with some Tombow Mono multi-glue. I will also adhere my mug flat to the card with some more Tombow. I'll lean my ladder over on the right side, overlapping my handle a little bit. I'll take this little marshmallow guy and add him right to the ladder, so he is climbing up to take his turn at jumping in. And this guy is going to go down at the base of the ladder because somebody needs to hold on to it so it doesn't fall down. And this last little guy is going to be mid-flight, just ready to take the plunge. The expression on his face is so funny. So to assemble my card, I'm going to be using a base of Latte MFT cardstock folded to a standard portrait style card. That is also what I die cut my focal panel out of. And then I'm just going to glue this striped pattern flat to the card. And then I'm going to take this gingerbread and cocoa piece and I'm going to adhere that towards the top. I just want to judge the height with my focal panel because I want to make sure that those gingerbread men on the top row are peeking over the top of the focal panel. So I'll just adjust that as needed. And then I'm going to take this little piece here that I die cut with the Lawn Fawn Stitch Scallop die. This is the largest of those. And I'm going to slip that right underneath the gingerbread piece. And then just press that into place. I've added some Scotch 3M foam tape to the back of my focal panel, so I'll just make sure that that is straight on the card before I press that down. I wanted to add some shimmer to my marshmallows since they are made of sugar. So I grabbed my Wink of Stella. I haven't used this one in a while, and I realized why as I was putting it on there, because I just don't feel like it has as much shimmer as the Spectrum Noir glitter pen. So I'm going to switch to that, and I'll just add an additional layer right over top of the Wink of Stella. And I was trying to think of what I could use for an embellishment, and I tried some Nouveau drops off to the side, but they didn't seem to be making nice domes straight from the bottle. So I think that I will try those on a backer sheet or something first and let them dry. But in the meantime, I found these enamel dots from Teresa Collins. I believe these were released last year, and they were the perfect colors. So I'm just adding these two small black ones right over top of the bear's eyes so that they're nice and shiny again. And then I'm going to add a couple of these green, red, and white ones to right around the sentiment. The ones on the right, I adhered a little bit lower at first, but then I didn't like the look of that, so I moved those up until they were right, framing the sentiment. And you can move those so long as you don't press them down too hard. Once you press them down, they're pretty firm. And that is going to complete our card for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this adorable set from Your Next Stamp. And I should be back on Friday with another card in the series, card 17. I'll include a couple extra bonus videos here at the end in case you're interested in watching in the meantime. These are from past Christmas card series. Also, you can always click on my photo to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.